All right, so I understand this is really wide. I'm gonna bring it in small in just a second. I really want to convey what is going on with the first light beacon and these zones. This is 4 hour candles with the weekly zones. Okay. Um, and if you want to swing trade either a cash account with a couple micros, or you pick up a prop firm that allows swing trading, and there are some out there, you can take these trades. Now, one way of doing it is the breakdown and then the retest of the zone. See how it retests this zone right here and drops? The main way is these end cap rejections. And you can set an alert right here. Okay, so we're going to go to first light beacon, end cap touched, once per bar close, or actually once per bar. Because once it touches, you want to know, not when it closes, but you want to know that it has touched this zone. Okay. All right. So basically, you're going to want to know that it touched this zone. We're back into a normal screen size here, right? I'll turn trend shift off so you can see this. You're going to want to know that it's touching this zone 100%. Um, and that's going to be, your entry. Now, let me show you how powerful this is when it does touch one of those zones. All right. So everybody was like, this is the bottom, this is the bottom. Well, this confirms it right here. Right. So we can get into um how to do that. But let's swap this down to like daily or something to get a little better entry. So we can use our trend shift here to get into this. I really like to use this beacon line. So it's not even really the candles, it's um the beacon that's coming down and coming back up out of it like that, right? Now you can use this as more confluence. And when these turn green, that's a very big momentum shift. So you could honestly use that as the entry. So this is kind of like what the trade would look like. Um, you would come in and this is, just imagine this is a swing trade. So we're going to hold this for a while. So this is coming out and this is turning green. We want to see it literally break. Now, this is the same exact end cap rejection strategy you would use even on the smaller time frames. It's all end caps. The market moves just the same way in high time frames and low time frames. So here's our entry right here. So we would buy, and our stop loss would be the bottom of that zone, right? And then our take profit, well, we could put one at the high, but I really don't want to set one. What I want to do is I want to change this back to a weekly trend shift and help us use that to gauge our trailing stop on this swing. If we even use it. Now you can use it mentally one, or you could actually literally drag this up there um, and go into it. And I'm at least gonna let it get to the high, right? Before I even think about doing anything. And even if it comes down some, it's just gonna be a pullback. It's more than likely just a pullback. We're continuously pushing up, right? Um, and that's how I'm gonna gauge it. Now that since we broke down and went up again, I would start trailing this. And there is our trailing. There's our trailing right there. So there's our trails. There's our trails right there. And obviously this, oh, there we go. So we get stopped out at 82,000. This trade was from April until right now. So it was 4 months, but 82,000 in 4 months is pretty good. And you could be adding in along the way. So and that's off one contract. So that is the power of the first light beacon. That's why this thing is so crazy and so powerful. Now, even if you don't want to use it as a swinging tool, you don't have to, even if you don't want to swing trade, you can use it to find your entries and know your daily bias as you're coming in just by what it's doing to the weekly zone throughout the week. So this is a new weekly candle starting right here, Sunday at 6 p.m. And then it breaks up and comes down and retest it on Monday at 10 a.m. Right? Here it is right here. So we could get into this trade. Oh, my screen just went blank. Weird. We can get into that trade. Where did you go? Here it is. Right there. We could get into that trade real easy, knowing that it's pushing up. And then we even have a target right here. So we'll mark our target because we're going to go into a smaller time frame. We won't be able to see that. But we're going to mark that target right there. And we're going to wait for price to come into the zone and reject. There we go. Pushes back up at 10 a.m. So we'll go down into a smaller time frame, right? We need to go at like 10 a.m. ish. There we go. So here's 10 a.m. right here. Boom. right? And we're probably looking at orbs or whatever, but we're banking on breaking away from this weekly candle turned into support and resistance zone here, right? So we're looking, we've already come inside of the zone, same thing as the end cap, and pushed out of it with our beacon line. So now we're going to turn on our trend shift and go down to like maybe a 5 minute or a 15-minute shift, and we're going to help us find our entry that way. And it's going to even go with colors. So we're white. We didn't cross through, so not looking to enter yet, right? And then okay, so now we're actually looking like we're crossing through the zone or through the trend shift. This is one of our other indicators that we provide with the suite, and we're pushing, right? We're on 2 minute candles. Oh, we crossed back under. Okay, there we go. We're finally changing color. We're at 11:42 a.m. We're still waiting for an entry. It's just running sideways. And once there we go, there's our entry there. So once it turned green, we're good to go again. And we already have our trend shift push up. So our stop loss is going to come down here, right? And then we're going to take profit at that line. So this is a way you can use that weekly zone to get into a nice trade that you're gonna want to let run from key level to key level, right? So here you go, and that's what it would look like right there. And we'll put on 5 minute candles just to get this to speed up a little bit and see if it actually gets up there. I didn't even pay attention, don't know. Um, and that is a really good way to get into these trades. And we're still holding our wrist down here. This starts pushing up, then we could start trailing with it, but we don't know yet. There's nothing to do yet. We're just letting the trade. There it goes. So you start, reducing risk. Oh, there it goes, and takes profit by Tuesday the next day. So that really is how you can use the weekly zones. That's why they're so powerful, and you can use them on any time frame. And you can honestly run this as a confluence. You can even go for like 5 or 15 minutes on your 15-minute chart and put the weekly zone on there. And you're going to see stuff like this. This right here is going to give you killer entries, even killer scalps. This right here, killer entries, killer entries, killer entries, right? Cross under, we hit this end cap, it shoves back up. Well, look at this right here. This is a killer entry. See that? And then you get a retest and another killer entry. So this is the power of the First Light Beacon. If you have any questions, let us know in our Discord. You can gain access to our Discord going to firstlightbeacon.com.